The illusion of desire. Music. Everything you think you know about female desire is a beautifully crafted illusion. For years, men were told that love is tenderness, devotion, and purity. But beneath the soft gestures and sweet smiles lies something older than romance itself: strategy. Machiavelli understood this centuries ago. Behind every silence there is a test. Behind every charming expression, a calculation. And once you learn what he discovered, you will never see a smile the same way again. Most men fail with women not because they are weak, unattractive, or unintelligent, but because they were raised on a lie. A lie that told them, be yourself, as if authenticity alone ever sparked desire. A lie that promised, treat her like a queen, as if worship ever ignited passion. A lie that said, love conquers all, even while courts fill with divorces and streets fill with men who have no idea what went wrong. While you followed these rules faithfully, others ignored them completely, and yet got exactly what you wanted. They weren't stronger or better, they simply understood something you were never taught. I learned this the hard way. I spent months being the perfect man for someone who barely noticed I existed. I believed that if I stayed loyal, patient, and kind, she would one day see my worth. But the moment I walked away, everything changed. Suddenly, my absence mattered more than all the effort I had poured into her. That was the moment I understood. Female desire is not a reward for goodness. It follows a completely different structure. Machiavelli, known for political strategy, privately documented something far more controversial, what he called the hidden dynamics of female choice. These writings were not public lectures. They were whispered in private rooms among the elite of Florence, because the truths inside them were too dangerous to openly discuss. He observed a pattern. Affection often masks a power transaction. Desire is not a soft emotion, it is a strategic instinct. And women, consciously or not, learn to navigate this instinct from a young age. Think about how often you've seen a woman claim, all men are the same, only to chase the same type repeatedly. Or how she says she wants stability, but falls for the one man who unsettles her. This isn't randomness. It's a coded pattern woven through cultures and centuries. Humans rarely act according to what they say. They act according to what benefits them. Machiavelli applied this principle to politics, but he also applied it to attraction. And what he discovered was so unsettling that even his contemporaries tried to bury it. Because if people accepted this truth, the entire fantasy of romantic love would collapse. He documented noble women abandoning perfect, loyal men for those who treated them with distance. He saw patterns where absence created more desire than presence, where mystery was more powerful than transparency, where unpredictability defeated stability. It wasn't malice, it was instinct at work. Once you become predictable, once your attention is guaranteed, your value collapses. The human brain does not crave what is certain. It craves what it must earn. That is the illusion you were never taught to see, and this is only the beginning. Beyond this lies something deeper, the hidden cycle Machiavelli observed. A cycle that explains the true nature of desire, and once you understand it, everything changes. The silent shift of attraction. There is a moment in every growing connection when the energy subtly changes. Nothing is spoken, yet everything feels different. This shift is quiet, almost invisible, but if you understand human behavior deeply, you can sense it like a vibration in the air. In this part, we explore the hidden transition from casual interaction to emotional curiosity, the stage where interest begins to form even before a person realizes it consciously. It often starts with attention. Not the obvious kind, but the small, unintentional focus someone gives you without noticing. They begin observing your reactions, your tone, and the way you carry yourself. Their eyes follow you a little longer, and their smile arrives a second quicker when you approach. At this stage, their mind is collecting emotional data. Is this person different? Are they safe? Are they intriguing? The second shift is in behavior. People who develop subtle attraction unconsciously mirror you. If you lean forward, they do too. If you talk slowly, their voice softens. This is the mind's natural attempt to build harmony. They don't realize they're doing it, but the body always reveals what the heart tries to hide. Then comes emotional responsiveness. When someone becomes more sensitive to your moods, it's a strong sign that their interest is deepening. If you sound tired, they notice. If you seem quiet, they ask what's wrong. Their attention becomes selective. You stand out even in a crowded room. They don't just hear you, they listen. They don't just speak to you, they adjust their tone depending on how you feel. Another subtle marker is the change in their boundaries. People become more open with those they're drawn to. They share personal experiences, small secrets, or memories they don't discuss casually. This emotional transparency is rarely intentional. It's a sign that their mind is beginning to trust you and their guard is slowly lowering. The hidden message behind this openness is simple: I want you to know me. Attraction deepens even further when someone begins prioritizing your presence without announcing it. They make time for you even when they're busy. They reply quicker, show more patience, and notice small details about your life. This stage of curiosity is quiet but powerful. It forms the foundation of emotional connection. Finally, the most important sign: discomfort when you pull away. If you take longer to reply or seem a little distant, they feel it. Not because they're desperate, but because their mind has started valuing your presence. This gentle fear of losing your attention reveals how strongly the connection has begun to grow. Part 2 is about understanding that attraction is rarely loud. It doesn't begin with grand gestures, it begins with small shifts in behavior, energy, and emotional awareness. If you learn to read these signals, you'll understand the human heart long before words ever appear. When desire turns into intent. There is a stage in human attraction where feelings stop being passive and start becoming purposeful. This is the moment when desire quietly evolves into intention, when someone no longer just notices you, but begins to move toward you. It happens slowly, but its signs are unmistakable if you know what to look for. The first sign is emotional investment. At this stage, the person doesn't just care about how you feel, they begin caring about how you think. Your opinions suddenly matter to them. They ask for your perspective, they seek your approval, and they subtly adjust their actions to align with your values. This is not manipulation, it is the mind unconsciously trying to fit into your world. Next comes behavioral consistency. Attraction in the earlier stages may be subtle, but intention creates patterns. They become reliable with you. They show up. They respond. They make effort without you asking. When someone's actions become steady, it means their mind is shifting from curiosity to commitment, even if they haven't admitted it yet. The third sign is emotional tension, the kind that fills the space between two people even when no words are exchanged. It's the eye contact that lasts a little too long, the silence that suddenly feels meaningful, the heartbeat you can almost sense when they stand close. This type of tension doesn't happen by accident. It's the chemistry that forms when two people are quietly drawn toward each other. Then comes vulnerability. When desire turns into intent, people stop hiding certain truths. They begin sharing fears, insecurities, ambitions, and deeper layers of their personality. They want you to understand not just who they are, but why they are that way. This level of openness is never random. It is a sign of emotional trust, which only appears when someone sees you as more than a temporary presence. A strong indicator at this stage is their sensitivity to your emotional distance. If you seem colder, their mood shifts. If you stop giving the same amount of attention, they feel uneasy. This discomfort reveals how attached they have already become, and the more they care, the more intentional their actions grow. Another subtle but powerful sign is the desire to impress you, not through bragging or show-off behavior, but through self-improvement. They start dressing better around you, speaking more thoughtfully, or carrying themselves with more confidence. This transformation is not for the world, it's for you. Their mind is preparing to be seen in the best possible light. Finally comes the shift in their emotional energy. They start imagining you in their future, even in small ways, plans, ideas, dreams. They include you without thinking because their heart has already placed you there. This is the quiet beginning of attachment turning into intention. Part 3 reveals a deeper truth. Attraction may be instinctive, but intention is a decision, even when it remains unspoken. When you understand these signs, you can see the moment someone chooses you long before they ever say it out loud.